on. No. There, how about sound capture? I'm trying to get this stupid chat in. Ah, there we go. There you are. And maybe raise this. And yeah, I think that's about it. Oh, if I make it like this, if I make it windowed, then there we go. Yay. Now I'll just have to probably go to the stream. Just to make sure that the chat... In fact, you know what? I'm actually gonna go into... Quickly do... Well, you know what? While I'm doing this... Oh, wait a fuck. Vandalia put in a different title. I have to put in... Anyways, welcome to Talking Time with Caffeine. And as you see, good old Schnick is going to be your host for tonight, as Vandalia is attending his reunion, I'm assuming high school reunion. 20th anniversary, I believe, because I think he graduated in 98. And everybody else is just gone. No MarioTube, no Jesse, no Brandon, no nobody. So, before I begin, and I think I might actually wanna, well actually, no, I can just sit away from the computer. Alright, let's put in a test for the restream. Yep, there's YouTube, and now let's go to Twitch. We go to Twitch, we go to join, lower the volume so no ad plays in the middle of the thing, and bam. Oh, we have Mario in chat, there we go. Well, I think today on the podcast, because it's just me, I'm gonna hijack Talking Time with Caffeine, and I'm probably just gonna do a regular live stream. While, hopefully, I could talk with you and anyone else who comes in. Alright, let's get in here. And... let's see if this works. I'm probably gonna have to lower the... Alright, let's go to volume mixer. There we go. So, Mario, did you have any topics in mind? Anything at all you wanted to discuss? And by the way, I purposely turned off the game audio just so that I kind of have something in the background while we talk. Thoughts on Simon Belmont and King K. Rool in Smash? Yeah, like, that'll be our first topic. How about it? You knew Simon was gonna make it in? Yeah, I would say a lot of people believed he was gonna make it in. I mean, the thing with Konami is that clearly it was established even when they announced Smash Ultimate, or better yet, when they did the E3 reveal, that Konami was cooperating. Because after all, Snake was making his return, and they confirmed Bomberman was going to be in as an NPC, not as an NPC, as an assist trophy. But I'll admit, one thing that I don't really like about Simon Belmont is that they seem to be, I mean, I know they're clearly going for probably his more well-known design, which was his design from frickin' the NES and Super Nintendo games, where he... But, I don't know, I kinda liked Simon Belmont's redesign in the later games, like in Castlevania Chronicles, like where he has the long red hair and his outfit's black. Because, I don't know, his old Super Nintendo look makes him... He looks too much like a generic buff gladiator. Like, I don't know, like, to me, like, because, like, the art style of the later Castlevania games, it kind of just doesn't fit. Particularly through how Richter Belmont, Alucard, and Dracula are more based on their later appearances. Like, Richter Belmont's also going to be in the game as Simon's Echo Fighter. There was, like, this brief snippet where you saw Richter posing with Alucard, seeming to imply that Alucard's going to be an assist trophy. Or maybe just a stage background character. And Dracula clearly is based on a Symphony of the Night appearance. It's funny this happened because you beat Super Castlevania 4. Well, I beat Super Castlevania 4 a while ago. And bear witness, because you get to see a silent version of what the uncensored Resident Evil 1 cutscenes are. Actually, I could probably turn the sound on just a little bit. Yeah, not too high. You hope the Bloody Tears remix from Symphony of the Night's in there. I think they confirmed a version of Bloody Tears is going to be in there, but it's probably not the Symphony of the Night version. I mean, they confirmed at least 34 tracks will be from Castlevania, and they're, like, all across the series' history. Like, it's not like they're, like, AVGN and they mostly ignore the games that weren't released on the NES and Super Nintendo. Like, almost every game in the series has at least one track. Like, you got the NES games, you got Super Castlevania 4, you got Bloodlines, you got Rondo of Blood, Symphony of the Night. They, Aria and Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, Order of Ecclesia, and they even have single tracks from Harmony of Despair, Lament of Innocence, and Circle of the Moon. In fact, I think the only games in the series that don't have a single track in Smash Ultimate are the N64 games and Curse of Darkness. The N64 games, it's probably alright, they omitted all the stuff, only because the N64 games did not have memorable music. Curse of Darkness, on the other hand, I'm a little bit sad they had no music from there, because Curse of Darkness, in my opinion, had one of the best soundtracks. I mean, then again, I should be happy because at the very least, Curse of Darkness is getting some love because they did recently confirm that Hector from Curse of Darkness is going to appear in Season 2 of the Castlevania TV series, and you're saying you love how these FMVs remind you of Twisted Metal 1's unused endings? Truth is, these are the uncensored FMVs. Like, pretty much almost all versions of the game in America were in black and white, and they removed a lot of the violence. But what I'm playing is a ROM hack of the game that restores all the uncensored stuff. Are there any other Echo Fighters I want to see? Because I really hope there is a lot of Echo Fighters, because it gives them an excuse to add in more characters without putting a whole lot of effort. But hey, I would say the more the merrier. But trying to think of who else. I mean, it would be redundant to put in more of the Belmonts since they already have Richter. Let's see. I mean, I get the feeling Dr. Mario could easily be an echo of regular Mario. Maybe Lucina could be an echo of Marth. I think they already said Dark Pit's gonna be an echo of Pit. You would want to see X as an Echo Fighter for regular Mega Man? Yeah, that would be fine. Let's see. What characters are there? I'm assuming Young Link and Toon Link are going to be Echo Fighters to each other. Can't really think of any in particular I'd want. At the moment, anyway. I mean, maybe they could have an Echo Fighter for Cloud, but then again, no other Final Fantasy character really fights like Cloud, so I don't know. Maybe they could have Zack as an Echo Fighter, but I don't know if that'd work. This game's audio is not too loud, right? Because if anything, I'll just make it go silent again. Ay. When it comes to third-party characters, you'd want to see Rayman or Crash. I mean, I know that a lot of people got butthurt over Rayman not being in Smash 4. I mean, there's a lot of rumors that Shantae could be in the game after it was confirmed Shovel Knight would be an assist trophy. Oh, the audio is good. Okay. But yeah, like, now that I think about it, if they were going to have a character representing any indie games, Shantae would probably be their best bet. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, imagine if Konami let Sparkster from Rocket Knight in. Huh. I mean, we already, like, let's see, when it comes to third-party reps, well, let's see, Capcom has two. They have Mega Man and Ryu. Square only has one, which is Cloud. Konami already has, well, technically Konami has 3 through Snake, Simon, and Richter Belmont. Let's see, Sega has Sonic, of course, and you could also count Bayonetta, even though Bayonetta is technically owned by Nintendo in part. Namco only has Pac-Man, but then again, when it comes to other Namco reps, I'm not sure what they could do. Maybe they could do a Tekken character, or maybe even Lloyd Irving or somebody like that. Thoughts on the final Smash meter? It's a lot like Shrek Super Slam and PlayStation All-Stars, from what I can tell. They're stealing PlayStation All-Stars! Oh, don't get me started on that. Back when PlayStation All-Stars came out, I freaking tell ya, there were so many Nintendo fanboys attacking the game, and they had this really weird defense saying why PlayStation All-Stars sucked and why Smash Bros. Was good. They claimed that none of the PlayStation characters were as iconic as characters like Mario and Link. Oh my god! I fucking noticed your goddamn freaking comments right there! Oh my god! No, seriously, the top review of the game on GameFAQs had that exact same argument. And that was freaking weird. Oh my god, I probably made everyone's ears bleed. Get down. I mean, I will say, PlayStation All-Stars did have some problems. Like, I'll admit the super move method of KOing, was a bit more clunky. And I will state that the story mode did kind of drag a little bit, and I really wish they did more with the story mode for each character. Like, a lot of the story modes were super generic. Probably the best parts of the story mode were just simply those rivalry cutscenes where you saw the two rival characters interacting with each other, like towards the end of each story. Not to mention, there were clearly... the third-party characters in that game were not thrown in because they were popular, but they were thrown in basically just to promote a game that was coming out at the time. Like, give Smash Bros. Credit, their third-party character lineup is at least iconic. Freaking PlayStation All-Stars, they pretty much just only threw in the third-party characters that were in there to promote games that were coming out. Alright, let's see if I can knife this idiot. But... The game just came and went when it released? Yeah, pretty much. Trying to think. So, but yeah, freaking, you have Raiden promoting Metal Gear Rising, Heihachi promoting Tekken Tag Tournament 2, Big Daddy promoting Bioshock Infinite, and Dante promoting DMC, and then later on you got Isaac Clarke promoting Dead Space 3. So, I don't know. The way they did third parties didn't work so well. Oops. It is a bit unfortunate that Sony's never tried again with the idea, because they have a decent lineup of characters that would work. They just need to do it better. Ugh, I feel like I wore out my voice because I was probably talking too loud. But yeah, when it comes to King K. Rool's reveal in Smash Ultimate, I'm honestly not surprised. That was probably the second most requested character behind Simon Belmont. Oh my god. I kind of hope that Smash Ultimate does have a story mode, though, because you wouldn't mind that Sony try again. Yeah, like, Microsoft has admitted they can't really do their own Smash Bros. Clone because they've self-admitted they don't have the lineup of characters to do it. Sony does. It's just that they kind of didn't do so well the first try, and I would really love it if they tried again. Not to mention, they have more characters they could put in. They could put Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn. They could put in any number of characters from games like maybe Detroit Become Human, or freaking the new God of War, Last of Us. Maybe add in third-party characters that clearly aren't meant to advertise other games. People were complaining that Crash, Spyro, Lara Croft, and Gex weren't in it. I don't know about Gex. Then again, Square still owns the Gex IP, and they said that they're open to indie developers making a new Gex game, kind of like what happened with Fear Effect. As for Crash and Spyro, well, that was at the time where Activision was kind of pretending those franchises didn't exist. But getting back to Smash Ultimate, I really do hope that there's a story mode in the game, and that hidden mode that they blurred out, the one that people think stands for Spirits, I really hope that's not Smash Tour, because if that's Smash Tour, I swear to God, I will probably go Brandon Crash Bash on that crap. Now I just want to make sure that, yeah, everything looks fine. Oh, look, a Jill sandwich. It is a Jill sandwich, exactly. Here's a fun fact. In recent years, fans of this game have been trying to track down the actors that played the characters in the live-action cutscenes. Some of the actors, like the ones for Barry and Chris, have been found. Yet the actor who played Jill is notably elusive. Like, to this day, no one really knows who played Jill in those cutscenes. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. We're already in danger. Ah, okay. Let's use the herb. As you see, I still suck at this game. Yay. And now we have bullets. Microsoft would just put in the cast of GTA 5, Minecraft, Forza, Halo, and Gears of War. Well, the closest thing they have to a crossover fighting game is probably Killer Instinct, where they have, the Arbiter from Halo, the villain of Gears of War, and one of the Battletoads in as guest characters. Oh, Vandalia, you drank too much. What? Okay. Everyone associates the Xbox with those games. I wouldn't exactly... I don't know if I'd associate... Back in the day, I think it was associated more with PlayStation. Maybe GTA 4 was the start of being associated with Xbox, but I don't know. Alright, let's combine. Oh, hi, Pokesaurus. Alright. Pokesaurus, did you have anything to say about Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? Everything's going fine, even though I'm on my own, hosting the podcast on my own. Alright. Oh, wait a minute. Pick that up. There we go. You have nothing to say because you don't play Smash. Smash 4 was a pretty disappointing game in my opinion, so I didn't want to talk about it for a while, but then I begrudgingly got back into it when I realized that amiibos were a lot cooler than I thought. You just finished working out, probably to bloody tears, and you made some dinner, and you might play some games or watch what appears to be an anime. Alright, that zombie needs to come over here. Fucker! Fucker! Why don't you die? Oh my god, you know what? Fuck this. Let's find another thing I could probably play. Oh, here we go. No! Not this! No. Oh, Vandalia. You doing okay?
Yeah. Hey guys.
Yay, it's Vandalia. And meanwhile, I know exactly what I want to change to.
I drank 3 cranberry vodkas.
Alright, get out of my way. Alright. I knew what song you were listening to, but you were also listening to stuff from Mega Man X, Sonic 3. And you can agree with my thoughts on Smash 4. I mean, I did believe the reason for not including a story mode was one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. But back then, everyone was just mindlessly defending the game, and according to Jesse, only now are people starting to kind of realize that Smash 4 doesn't have much replayability. Hopefully Smash Ultimate fixes that.
Kid mode. Kid mode.
Spider-Man?
Yep, Spider-Man. We can't go spider splat in this game, but why not? You played lots of party games by yourself? Huh. Generally, I have to too, because no one ever comes to my house anymore.
I used to... People used to come to... I was the house people came to play games. Because I had the games at my house.
Hey, Black Cat. What's going on?
I know there's been
People come over to play Super Mario 3, Super Mario World, and Secret Mana. And FF7.
Of course.
At the end.
Where the hell is it? Alright. Alright, so how was your reunion?
It was good. It was good. It took me a while to recognize some people. Like they all knew me, but I'm like, who's that again? I talked to a few people there. Did a little dancing, ate a little food.
And meanwhile, Mario and
I even hung out with my high school bully a little bit.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Good. At least you made up. And you're surprised. Now, Mario in chat says that he's surprised Smash Ultimate is adding lots of game modes and gameplay tweaks. I mean, I saw some of the original game modes, and I will say I am happy that Classic Mode is returning to form, because I kind of didn't like how they did it in Smash 4.
You should do a spin-off game, Shitty RPG Smash.
If only I knew how to make Super Smash Flash. You and your friends had good times, so there wasn't anything new to offer. Pretty much the only thing Smash 4 had going for it was that, at the time, it had the biggest character roster.
Oh, police choppers. I'm already at full health.
Ay, ay, ay. It sucks when you have friends that are busy with school or out of town. I would say it sucks harder if you have friends that live in your hometown and seem to have a lot of free time, but then they intentionally just seem to ignore you.
Bank ahead.
Yes, but no pineapple spider. I saw the chopper dropping off armed robbers on top of the bank.
Thanks for the heads up.
Because I may have mentioned one friend that I don't really talk to anymore. How I ran into him at a Target once, and he basically said nothing to me, not even hello or goodbye, while his family talked with me. And he proceeded to not message me for 7 months until literally just a few days ago, when he was messaging me to try and figure out how he should pre-order Black Ops 4. I actually put that in the Skype chat, hoping it would get a reaction out of MarioTube, but it didn't.
I'm already at full health. Man, looks like the Fantastic Four aren't around right now.
So, are you going to your 10 year in 6 years?
If they have one.
I bet I can get into the bank through the top of this
What
building.
the hell? What's this with this weird camera angle? A girl did something like that to you? Hmm.
That's right. That's the Jade Syndicate.
There, we're having some Jason Bourne shaky cam.
That's the last one. But these hostages are still alright.
Alright, I want to see if this will pass the censor. Jesus Christ, that's Spider-Man. Yeah, just like how Jesus Christ is Jason Bourne.
Looks like I've got company. Oh yeah.
Oh my God. I did not expect that. Yeah, exactly. Baby's kisses. I was more specifically thinking of freaking what something Brandon always says, baby's bullshit.
Sorry about that. Looks like that room there
What was so funny, because I put the word bullshit in, and because it came out as puppy, which ties into how freaking I always say baby's kisses, and Brandon started saying baby's bullshit. So they tie together. Did anyone have any more topics to talk about, though? Because I think we're done with Smash Brothers. Oops. Oh, fuck. Sigil Massasaurus? I don't even know what that is.
Going down?
On that list of game topics, what was on that list of game topics? Huh. Oh, it was talking about how we got into certain series. I was only bringing up how I got into the KH and Resident Evil games. So did anyone have any stories to tell of when they got into certain game series?
Mind if I drop in?
And did I already talk about that? No, I didn't. I mean, I did talk about, well, let's see, when it comes to me getting, you know, I need to change the topic first. Alright. There. So, I got H games. So, I vaguely the first time I ever heard of the series was when I had a VHS tape of Mickey's House of Villains. They had a brief teaser trailer for KH1 in it. All I saw was the logo and nothing more. Then I vaguely remember seeing commercials on TV around the same time, and my cousin also got the game for Christmas one year, though I had no idea what it was about. I was not fully introduced to what the games were about until I read a Nickelodeon magazine that was made in promotion for Jimmy Timmy Power Hour 3. And it was discussing crossovers in general. And on a list of crossovers where they were asking you to identify which 2 crossovers were fake, KH1 appeared on one of them, and I knew it was real, and then I finally decided to try it out, and the rest is history. As for the Resident Evil games, I remember watching this old video series called Gaming in the Clinton Years, which I think briefly brought up... I first learned of the Resident Evil games through that video series. I would always watch them for like a couple of minutes each. And I think in one video discussing 3D games, it noted, oh, this 3D game has a full camera versus Resident Evil having fixed cameras. And that's how I first what the fuck? And that's how I first learned of the Resident Evil games. Somehow. And I didn't actually try... The first game I actually tried was Resident Evil 2 in May of 2010. When I was on when I was on a Survivor message board in GameFAQs, and I occasionally saw people reference the series, not to mention GameFAQs would always have character battles, and characters from the Resident Evil series, like Leon and Jill, would always make it to the finalists. So I finally tried Resident Evil 2, and I will tell you, I was frustrated by the experience at first, but later I adapted. And Vandalia just seems to be silent.
Sorry, I'm just in thought.
Oh. But those are 2 stories I have, so does that...
The robbers have been taken care of, but what can I do about the bomb?
Oh, and here is a fucking part DSP messed up on. Oh, what the fuck? Get the web.
Headache.
This is why I don't like... Then again, I've never really drank. I don't like it.
This is the first time I've drank in like 3 years.
Oh. No! Spider-Man! Get in there. This part is buggy. Yeah! No, it's not. DSP wasn't saying that. He had no idea you were supposed to put the bomb in the bank vault. They just kept on giving it to me, and it was free, so I'm like, okay. If I were at a reunion, I would just take soda. And I would be absolutely careful that they don't spike it with nothing.
I had some cranberry vodka.
Ah. See, I do not like vodka, and I do not intend to try it.
Let's see what my gaming start. Let's see. Well, my first introduction to Kingdom Hearts was, I was at my friend's house. A group of us were playing FF11 together, and we were at his house for like a LAN party. And I was like updating my computer there. Because my house had dial at the time, so he had cable. And I was like, this is my first introduction to cable too. I'm like, oh my god, that update only took 45 minutes. What the hell? What kind of voodoo is that? because I used to have the update take all night long on dial-up. But anyways, while I was waiting for the update, with my put this game out, I'm like, what's this weird game with Goofy and Donald in it? You started playing, I'm like, that's Disney. Hey, that's Final Fantasy characters. Oh my god, what is this? What is this thing? And I was hooked.
Huh. I just thought of how I got into the Dark Souls games. I vaguely remember, I never heard of Demon Souls when it came out, but when Dark Souls 1 came out, I was already looking into game news a lot at the time, and I heard a lot about the game. And I even saw Angry Joe briefly play it. Then, what happened was, the first game was given away for free on Xbox Live, but I did not press on further because I didn't understand the game mechanics, and I was under the impression that punishment for death was much harder than I'd once believed. And then later I found out more about the series plus Bloodborne from the guys I roomed with in sophomore year of college. And more or less, I only forced myself to get into the series, just hoping it would help me connect with them more, but it didn't. I need to look at the comments you left. One guy was trying to help you, wasn't much help. What the hell? Yeah, I saw those.
So, Pokesaurus, do you figure out how to get your mic working, or are you still?
I thought he did on Discord.
I mean, I didn't figure out the writing part. I don't know if you figured out the mic part.
I could have sworn he said he did get it working.
Ah.
Any thoughts on MU Paradise removing their ROMs to be safe? I mean, well, they gotta do what they gotta do to avoid getting sued by Nintendo, because Nintendo's been going pretty crazy. All I'm kind of hoping is that Nintendo at least makes classic games easily playable on the Switch. It seems they're only really interested in the NES at the moment for some reason. Oh, it wasn't the mic?
Jeez, I wish they had like 3DS games on the Switch.
That sounds impossible.
Because it's hard to capture DS games or 3DS games without an emulator. You could buy a expensive modded system.
I will say that when it comes to retro games being playable on emulators, I don't think it's ever gonna truly go away. Only because the retro game community valiantly fights to preserve older games that have so many expired licenses and could never get re-released officially.
I've been playing an emulated game since like 1997.
Yeah, let's just say one day, there is going to be another MU Paradise one day, whether Nintendo likes it or not, and they're just gonna have to keep taking them down, only for more sites to take their place.
Or just offer themselves.
I mean, well, generally, I don't really like emulating games unless it's to play ROM hacks or games that aren't easily accessible officially. And Pokesaurus was explaining what the problem was. And Hauser didn't bring up the background sound dampener to him. You remember that people were trying to use PS3 emulators only because Scott Pilgrim got delisted years ago? Well, see, that's exactly why the retro game community is going to fight to preserve these games, given that a lot of them get delisted. And that's why people are afraid of games going all digital. Because if they go all digital, like, the ability to play these games might become nigh impossible in the future. Though, if the current retro game community is any indication, it's most likely that single-player games that get delisted have a future. You know, like, all they have to do is just get a ROM of them and then just distribute it, I suppose. And you like to use emulators to get games, sample games, or play games that never got released in the US. Well, I do the same thing too, except, you got one slight fact incorrect. Snatcher did come out in the US, but only on the Sega CD, and it's incredibly rare, so you pretty much have to emulate it anyway. But see, that's why, like, very rare games, yeah, usually they're not worth the price that scalpers ask. Yeah, the Sega CD is the only way to play Snatcher in English because it was the only version of the game released in America. But once again, it's very rare, so you're better off emulating it anyway. In fact, I think I emulated it that way. Fuck off! What?
You did?
Yeah, Snatcher on the Sega CD. Just like Terminator on Sega CD.
It's probably possible to emulate. I don't know. I think Brandon tried to do it, or I'm not sure, but the CDI games.
Yeah, he tried emulating the CDI games, but it pretty much didn't work. So he had to burn them to CDs and play them on a real CDI. Since the CDI happened to not have copy protection. I do know that there was a time when Brandon was debating bringing the CDI with him on his trip, but he doesn't want to risk damaging it, because CDIs break easily.
Oh, yeah. God. Oh, boy.
You meant to put Snatcher on the very rare comment. Ah.
Almost there.
Damn it! So... Anyways, I gotta go to the bathroom quick. What, you want to entertain people
for a minute? Hey, chat, how y'all doing?
Yeah.
Remember, kids, if you drink, be sure to eat with it. I'm concerned to have a driver. Because it's the law. Ugh. Ugh. My back itches. Ugh. 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 Oh, that's Sonic Mania Plus. Huh. Sonic Mania Plus would be a thing. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Ugh. Ugh. Let's see. So, God. Hello.
I have returned.
Hooray! I think
You
I did one
pulled
thing.
a Chris Bohr since he likes to repeat words. Hang on.
Ugh.
Huh. So, and then Pokesaurus got oofed.
Oofed on what?
I don't know. Meanwhile, this has been going for a bit of an hour. If any, I have a Daily Onion subject, a brief one that is,
Okay.
because I just had to kill a spider upstairs since it was hanging out and probably just waiting to get into this basement so it could build a spider web and frickin' make babies that would infest the whole house.
Like Charlotte's Web.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Except all the babies went off in separate directions except for 3. Alright, so let's talk about elementary school schnick and bugs.
The Daily Onion, Daily Bug Onion.
Let's just say, even today, I am kind of squeamish around bugs. And Pokesaurus wants Hauser to let everyone know Hauser wasn't any help, I guess. But what happened is when I was a kid, I did not want anything to do with bugs. Like, I was deathly afraid of bees, like, even a little bit still today. And there's one particular story I remember. Let's just say anytime I had to go to sleep, God forbid if there was a bug other than an ant in the room. Let's just say, once there was this big mosquito thing, which was really creepy looking, and my sister kept motioning to hit it, but it would always fly out of the way, and she just did not think it was that big of a deal. Eventually, we woke our dad up telling him to come catch it, and he said no. The one thing my dad would always give as an excuse for me to not freak out around bugs was that, "You are much bigger than the bug!" You have to be careful of scorpions. Well, that you're in Arizona, so of course there's gonna be scorpions there. Oh, but then there was the one time I was playing fucking Power Rangers Time Force for like the millionth time in a row, when all of a sudden something buzzed out of the lamp and went back into the lamp. It happened to be a ladybug. And I tell you, even to this day, I find the way that beetles and other ladybugs and other beetles fly to be kind of creepy. And let's just say one night there was a ladybug buzzing around inside of the lamp and everyone was asleep. So you know what I proceeded to do? Oh, Hauser's watching Constantine. Which one? But anyways, does anyone know what I wanted to do next when there was a ladybug buzzing in the lamp? It's a big bug world out there, Schnick. That wasn't stopping good old Schnick from screaming at the top of his lungs for anyone to wake up, and because I was told never to kill ladybugs, I specifically called them to catch the ladybug and let it outside. And I could try to imitate what some of the screaming sounded like. Anyone care to listen? This is what it sounded like. Mom! Dad! Alex! Wake up! Please! 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 I want you to catch a ladybug and bring it so you can bring it outside! And just imagine that on repeat in a broken record for about a solid half hour. I really sincerely hope that this wasn't heard by the next door neighbors. Oh my god. And somehow, even though I was screaming that loud, the entire household was either they heard me screaming, but they decided to just leave me at it, thinking I was being over dramatic, or they were in such a deep sleep that no one could hear me. Are you the only one that likes A Bug's Life? Well, I like it too. And I have the game as well. Your screaming sounded like you when you got your foot stuck in a smiley face. It's
What's
turning
turning
20 this year?
What's turning 20 this year?
Oh, Bug's Life. Bug's Life.
Oh. Well, it came out the same time I graduated high school.
I had the VHS tape when I was a kid, then I somehow lost it, and then I later re-got it on Blu-ray.
I think I saw Ants before I saw Bug's Life.
Yeah, Ants and A Bug's Life were competing heavily with each other. I think A Bug's Life was the bigger box office success, yet people seem to like Ants more. I've never fully seen Ants, though.
It's almost the same story.
Really?
Kind of. A rebel ant and both things.
I mean, from what I remember, the plots aren't that similar. All I remember is that Ants what really pushed the PG rating, supposedly. And I will say, the animation in Toy Story hasn't aged all that well. Like, there are points where it looks pretty dated, whereas A Bug's Life has aged pretty flawlessly. Same goes for Toy Story 2.
You think they'll ever make a real life Toy Story, like they do all these other real life Disney things?
No, there was already a fan-made live-action Toy Story.
But not from fan made, but not officially from Disney and
Pixar. If they did a real life one, I'm done. Like I tell you, I'm done with those live action remakes. I do not want to go see them, not at all. Ants has bad words, well, so does Shrek. Shrek actually does have some mild language in it.
Like onions.
No, not... Well, onions is a famous word, but it's not a curse word.
It should be.
All I remember is that the ogres are like onion speech was referenced in my freaking communication class when we were being told that there's a lot to people.
Snick is like onions. He has layers.
And then meanwhile, elementary school Schnick meant thought the freaking ogres have layers. I thought that literally meant his skin had layers. I literally was completely oblivious in the metaphor.
He was like a snake. He shed his layers.
Yep, that's what Schnick thought of ogres at the time.
Ugh.
The environments of A Bug's Life hold up well. Yeah, they do. I will say, kind like the rain scene, the chase scene in the rain, like the water effects look a little bit dated, but that's about it, I'd say. Like, especially during that one scene where they're flying over what appears to be a big puddle of water. And then you love how Pixar went ahead to adjust the movie when it got presented on full screen on home video. Huh. Trying to think to myself now. What is there? Any more Daily Onion stories that would impress Mario in chat? Did you hear the story involving me getting my first PSP game?
I haven't. I don't remember it.
Let's see what his response is. because I don't want... And meanwhile, I'll think of some backup stories, because I have that story.
Oh, I need some caffeine. Be right back.
I think I already told the story of how I freaking threw a temper tantrum, like a Caillou-style temper tantrum, when I didn't get to go see Chronicles of Narnia. Yes, more Schnick Daily Onion. Ugh. Alright. Oh, you haven't heard of it. Well, here we go. So, my dad basically challenged me to learn how... Back in 2006, he said that if I learned how to ride a bike, he would buy me a PSP. I learned how to ride a bike, and he gives my gram the money right after he goes on a vacation to Mexico. Oh, no, don't sing that goddamn Caillou song. No, I was freaking noting how Caillou acts like a brat. No! Pokesaurus, stop putting in the goddamn fucking lyrics. Oh my fucking god. Ah! So, freaking what happened was, we go to GameStop, and my gram was instructed to get me a used PSP since it would save money. But no, she ended up getting me a new one, feeling like I deserved a new one. And, I get the PSP, and I get Pac-Man World's Rally as my first PSP game. Except there's a bit of a problem. So, the PSP was printed, PSP games were printed on UMD discs, where there's like this big shell surrounding like this little mini disc. I thought what you had to do was break open the shell and put the disc on its own inside the PSP. So, legit, we get home, and my gram immediately had to take me into New York City because my sister had dancing class. But me, being super impatient, wanting to play the PSP immediately, especially since my sister got a used DS the same day, and it happened to be charged for some reason, I freaking unboxed the PSP, and literally I spent the whole day trying to break open the Pac-Man World disc. And then finally I broke it open, I put the empty disc inside, I tried powering on the PSP, except I didn't know how to turn it on. I go the whole day in New York, and I finally come home, only to fucking find out the whole time the PSP wasn't charged. And then when I found out that you were supposed to keep the whole disc whole with the shell and everything, I went fucking full Darkside Phil, and I blamed my sister for everything. And when my dad got back, he freaking took the game back to GameStop, somehow explained the situation, and if you can believe it, they gave him another copy of the game, and this time I inserted it fully intact, and it fucking worked. Oh, yeah. And then, I already told the Narnia story in the movies episode of the podcast, but I could tell it again here. So, around the time the first Narnia movie, The Lion, the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe came out, my uncle decided he was going to take my sister to see it. However, maybe because I was being a brat that day, he decided, no, you're not coming. I ended up bitching and moaning about it to my ma, and she forced my uncle to include me. My uncle, because I didn't get the rightful lesson I deserved to be taught, taught to me, he threw a huge freaking temper tantrum, and my ma got so pissed off that she decided no one was going to the movie that day.
Ugh. Is this Uncle Wally?
This is Uncle Wally, yes. And so Uncle Wally leaves, and then my dad comes home, and I tell him, "Can I go to the movies?" And he's like, "Yeah, let me just call your mom." He calls my ma, and she angrily said, like, all I remember is that the argument started, "I'm taking Nick to the movies. Nick's going to the movies with me." "No, he's not." "Yes, he is." "No, he's not." They got into a big argument, and surprisingly, towards the end of the argument, it became obvious to me that my dad was actually winning the argument. Either that or my mom was just giving up begrudgingly. So you know what I do next? I started giggling. Because I was a fucking brat, and I was happy that I was getting it my fucking way. My dad hangs up the phone and walks into me smiling, and he immediately realizes what's going on. He's like, "Why are you laughing?" And then immediately I tried denying it, and then he's like, "You know what? How about we don't go to the movies? How about that?" And I mentioned earlier how I freaking threw a Caillou-level tantrum. I pretty much did. I was about 10 years old, and I was saying, "Please, can we go?" Well, actually, I think I was 9, actually. I was like, "Please, can we go to the movie?" And it got to the point where I was freaking... My dad would give a more and more irritated nope every time I asked. And I got so freaking salty that I was on the floor freaking... Like, did you see that one Angry Grandpa video where he was pretending to be on the floor imitating Paula Deen after she got fired from Food Network for making racist comments? Like, Angry Grandpa was on the floor freaking thrashing around like a baby pretending to be Paula Deen for some reason. Like, I was more or less doing that shit. Let's just say that was freaking elementary school schnick being a fucking jackass. Oh my god.
So your sister got punished for your behavior.
Yeah, she got cheated out of the movie. I mean, we did, go to the movie the following week. But, let's just say, I mean, I don't think anyone except me remembers that incident anymore out of the family members.
Bring it up. Like, hey, remember this happened?
My mom would probably just get irritated asking me why I'm bringing up the past. Well, that was something. Oh, yeah. It was more than something. It was showing that elementary school schnick could be a goddamn retard. Oh my god.
I don't know if I told this story or not. It's my... I don't remember if I actually did this or anybody else did this, but we were at a field trip, 6th grade. We were seeing a play. I think it was about Columbus, or maybe some other explorers. I think. I barely remember the play. I barely remember the play itself. All I remember is a bunch of kids who were acting up in the play. I don't think I was one of them, but I was a goody good. I was a good kid back then. But because of that, people acting up, our trip to Chicago got canceled because every year the sixth grade class goes to Chicago for like a big field trip. But because a few of us acted up, the whole class got canceled. First time ever in the history of sixth grade. Unless you count 9/11, but that was in the class acting up got canceled. I was outside of interference. So,
Do
yeah.
I have more Schnick stories? I was just thinking of one. I'm trying to see if I can recall it. Oh my god, because I was listening to Vandalia's story. I do vaguely remember a school play that was done in elementary school because... it doesn't really have much to do with me, but I could briefly acknowledge just one school play. So in elementary school, we had to watch a school play that was basically an adaptation of Oliver Twist. There's one thing I could say about this play, and you know what that is? Whenever the kids were not singing, they literally showed no emotion. I kid you fucking not. I think there was this one kid who was playing who seemed to be the villain of the whole play. Like, he was the...
A villain, you said? Hello? Hello?
Hello? Oh, that's kind of loud. Let's go to properties again. Blue Snowball. Alright, we're back. Alright, emotions are prohibited. Yes! Legit, in this freaking elementary school play of Oliver Twist I had to watch, it was literally as though all of the kids were not allowed to have any kind of emotion displayed unless it was freaking for singing. And there was this one kid who I think was playing the villain of the play. I don't remember the story of Oliver Twist all that much. But he was the only kid who was trying. Like, to just demonstrate how emotionless the kids are, we have the famous scene where freaking Oliver Twist goes to ask to get more food or something. Hello, can I please have some more? What? How dare you? Ask for more. Yeah, that's basically how it was. And then freaking the villain or whoever it is, freaking the emotionless kids are like, you are going to get arrested for your crimes. You're gonna have to catch me first! He runs off the stage. Get him. Don't let him escape. That is literally how the entire fucking play was, except for when they were goddamn singing.
I can see it now.
I kid you not.
I can see it now.
And now Vandalia's mic's nowhere to be heard. Vandalia, I can't hear your mic.
My name is Montango. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
Vandalia, I cannot hear your mic.
Hello?
It seems to be all muffled. It seems like you did something. Okay, maybe if I go to settings, audio. Was Tommy Wiseau in charge? He may as well have been.
Hello, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I hear you better. Yeah, Mario and chat, I swear, Tommy Wiseau may as well have been in charge. Oh my god. Can't really think of any more Schnick stories at the moment, but I think we have a decent length for a podcast now, so maybe we should end this here, and then I can maybe continue doing a live stream on my channel.
Since you did the whole thing today, tell them what we learned today.
Alright, so what we learned today was that Smash Ultimate's looking to be a huge improvement over Smash 4. PlayStation should definitely try a Smash Brothers style game in the future. Sometimes the ways you discover your favorite games happen in mysterious ways, and Elementary School Schnick was an idiot. And I think that calls the episode for today, so see you all Tuesday. Enjoy the randomness, huh?
Yep. Bye.
Make sure to come to my